In this video, I'll be showing you how to exploit OWASP top 10. The OWASP top 10 list. Here is the OWASP top 10. You'll find it from owasp.org/top 10 /2025. This is as at 2025. The 2026 release has not the 2026 has not been released. So I'll be showing you how to exploit these vulnerabilities ranging from broken access control, SQL injection, file upload, file injection. I'll be showing you how to exploit those. And then the attack machine we'll be using is DOM vulnerable web application DVWA. Like I shared in earlier video, I told you that we'll be exploiting those the OWASP top 10. And here we are today. We are going to be exploiting OWASP top 10. We're going to be doing hands-on exploiting OWASP top 10. So the lab architecture for doing this, I'm always a hands-on person doing lab and lab. So the lab architecture for this is we have Kali and Ubuntu built on the same um, virtual environment. We are using Oracle VirtualBox. I had shown in previous videos how to install Kali, how to install the VirtualBox, then how to install Kali, then also how to install Ubuntu. I had done that in previous videos. So, but in today's video, I'll just concentrate on exploiting the vulnerabilities. I will still go through, I will explain how we got how we got our devices set up so that you have an idea of what it is. So I'm starting the Ubuntu and it's coming up now. Now Ubuntu happens to be the victim's machine. It's coming up. Ubuntu is the victim's machine. Before then, let me show you this. So this is how to install DVWA on Ubuntu. I told you DVWA, that's that vulnerable web application, is a web application that is intentionally vulnerable. It was built intentionally to be vulnerable. It was built intentionally to be vulnerable. So we will be this is how to install it on Ubuntu. If you get your Ubuntu setup, I actually use Ubuntu 20.04, the LTS version. Is very light, that's why I use it. Then I just install. It's just this. It's not difficult to. It's a very straightforward installation. You first of all, what you do after you have installed your Ubuntu, is ready. Either you're using the desktop version or the CLI version, the LTI version. All you need to do is to run this line of code. First, you will do sudo app update and sudo app upgrade, and any every other question that comes is yes for you because you really want to update, you want to upgrade the particular OS. Then the next is to install required packages for LAMP. LAMP, like I shared earlier, is a collection of tools: Apache, MySQL, PHP, Perl. So it's a collection of these tools that will help you build your web server. So that's what it means. So because DVWA is a web application, that means it runs on the web. It needs a web server to always interpret, the command and execute the command. So this is the command to install the entire web server. So you say sudo apt install Apache 2. That's you are installing Apache. You're also installing MySQL server. Then you are installing PHP. You are installing PHP MySQLi. You're also installing PHP GD. You are installing light packages. So these are the packages you install. It's a straightforward installation. If you run this code, it will run for about 2-3 minutes depending on your internet speed and your hardware configuration. Then it will be up and doing. The next is to now start and enable them so that anytime this one is to start the Apache, this first line is to start the Apache. This one now is also to enable the Apache such that when your system comes up, when your system boot up, it will always Apache will always be will start by itself. So that's what this means. And this one as well too is also to start MySQL because you always require MySQL database because that's where the records are stored. Then you also enable it. So when you say sudo systemctl start MySQL, it means you are starting MySQL. When you say sudo systemctl enable, it means you are enabling it to start at startup. Whenever the system boots, it will always come up. So the next is for you to secure your MySQL. The MySQL comes with a default username, which is root without any password. So when you run this line of code here like this on the on your Ubuntu, it will start um MySQL installation. So while it's doing the installation, it will ask you to set root password. Please set root password. It will ask you if you want to remove anonymous user. Please do. It will ask you, do you want to disallow remote root login? Please disallow it. For now, we don't need that. Then it will also ask you, do you want to remove test database? Oh, please do all these things as it's a self walkthrough. It's a walkthrough for that. Maybe probably I'll do another video for that in case you didn't get. But it's this documentation is straightforward and it's easy to get. So now is for us to create DVWA database. You log into your MySQL. This is how to log into your MySQL. We have a user. This is sudo MySQL dash u means the username is root, then dash p it requires a password. So you now put your password. Then when you do that, you copy this code like it is. This is just to create a database. You see the first one is create database. The name of the database is DVWA. Then create user DVWA. That's the user. Then it's being identified by password. So you put a password. Then you are granting all privilege to this guy. So this is for another video to explain SQL uh, to explain how SQL work. But it's just pretty straightforward. Just run that like that and it will give you what you want. Then after you have done that, you have to create you have to go to the root folder because you already have your web application installed, your web server installed. You will see a page like this. If you hit your IP address, you see a page like this. If you hit your IP address, if you put this your IP address, if you hit your IP address, you see a page like this. So now you are seeding, you are going into this folder HTML, which is inside WW and inside VAR. So what you now need to do is to clone DVWA. DVWA is on GitHub. The DVWA is on GitHub. Remember we are installing this on Ubuntu. So you just sudo git clone, you git clone this guy to this folder. So when you git clone it, because after you seed into this folder, that's when you run this line of code. It will just pull it up straight. Then you just rename from capital letter to small letter because this comes in uppercase. So you just rename it to lowercase, and with that you are done. The next is to give it permission, to set permission, folder permission to it for access so that you can access them. So just run this code. It means you are giving permission to this folder which exists in all of these parts. Do you understand? To this user rather, which exists in all of these parts. So that's what it means. So then you have to now configure your DVWA. You have downloaded it, you have to configure it. You have to cd into this config file. Then you have to get a copy of it out, then you rename it. Yes, you get a copy out. That's what this line of code is doing. Then this one is copying it out. Yes, it's copying it from, giving a copy from config.inc.php.dist to config.inc.php. That means it's copying this and renaming it without the dst, and this is the file that your DVWA will recognize and use. Then you can now nano into it. That's, you are editing the file using nano. If you don't have nano, you can use any editor that you have on your Ubuntu, but nano comes with Ubuntu 20.04. So you open it just like you're opening a document, you're editing what is inside. Look for where the DB username is, put this username, then put this password, because these are the username and password you have created earlier when you were doing your MySQL database. Look at it, this is the user, then you also created identify by password. So this is the password. So that's what is that's what you put in this config file. And when you do that, you are good to go. When you do that, you are good to go. So you just need to do these few settings also inside this php.ini file. There are some few settings you need to do. If these are turned off, on them, turn them on, and that will be all. Then you restart your Apache. You restart your Apache server so that it can take effect. Those changes you made can take effect. So yes, so that's where we are. This document is available. I will also share link to the document so that you can have it if you don't have it already. So I think that's all about it. So we'll now start. Okay, so let me just talk about the common mistakes you will encounter and the fixes and the fix rather. So this is how to set level. After you log in, you can set to any of these difficulty level. So the common fixes we talk about, the common problems you encounter, these are the fixes. In case you get a blank page when you hit your IP address /DVWA, or you hit the IP address 192.168.1 whatever your IP is, in case you get a blank page, run this code, restart your Apache. Your Apache did not restart very well. Then in case you have permission issue, run this code again. You will you will be able to solve that problem. In case your database is not connecting, so check your username and password very well. Maybe you mistyped or there's a typo error. So now back to today's to the deal of the day. Now we have our Ubuntu running. Yes, our Ubuntu is running. Ubuntu 20.04 is still coming up. I don't know why it's taking time, but it's not supposed to take this much time. So we have that Ubuntu running coming is still coming up. So today, just like I said, we'll be exploiting the OWASP Stop 10 vulnerabilities. We'll start with the first one, but before we do, I'd explain the lab architecture of the lab architecture of this particular lab that we will be using. I say this lab is designed to help students, one, understand real-world web vulnerabilities, also to practice exploiting OWASP stop-stem vulnerabilities, also to learn attacker's mindset plus defensive mindset. So this is both useful for both attacker and defenders to be able to understand what happens in real world. Now we have Ubuntu server that is hosting DVWA. Ubuntu server is hosting DVWA. That's one of the that's what we have here, and that's majorly what we'll be doing. I said DVWA is a vulnerable web application. It is intentionally made vulnerable. It is intentionally made vulnerable. At a point, I'm not sure in this video, we also power our Kali to see how we can use tools like Bob Suit, Hydra to also launch attack on on the Ubuntu, which is hosting the DVWA. So we'll see how we can do that. We'll be doing some testing from the browser. We're using our browser, and we'll see tools like Bobsuit also to do that. Bobsuit, Hydra, and which of them again, and Hashcards to see if we can pull up some things. So we have Kali, and we have DVW on Ubuntu 20.04 as the victims machine. Then we have Kali Linux as the attack machine for now. So this I try to put up screenshots for the installation. So if you hit your IP address directly, like you see in this screenshot, 192.168.100.121 is the IP address of my Ubuntu. If you hit it directly, you get this page like this. If you go further to say /DVWA, you'll get a page like this to land into your DVWA page. Then you can now log in, put your username and password, then we'll start exploiting what it is. So for this video, we are starting from, okay, we'll look at the configuration. So we'll start from here. Let me see if this guy is up. Should. So why are you taking time?